Good evening. We call to order the regular meeting of the West Valley City Council. We're happy to have you here tonight with us. We note that we have a quorum present. We are excusing Tom Yoon, who will not be with us, Councilman Tom Yoon, tonight. With that, then, our opening ceremony. We're turning to Councilmember Jake Fitisimana.
Thank you, Mayor. For this evening's opening ceremony, I've invited Reverend David Wesley, who's the senior pastor here in West Valley at the First Tongan Christian Church, to provide us with a little opening. And I'll turn the mic over to Reverend Wesley now.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Jake Fitisimana. I am the senior pastor for First Time Christian Church, and I guess one of the things that we were focusing on was starting a marching band for the community, and so we provide free lessons for those who are musicians, and so I guess that's how we got well acquainted, but also through the University of Utah, but also at Mount Academy where I teach. I'd like to offer a prayer, if that's okay. Loving God, we are grateful and thankful for this evening. We are thankful and grateful for the leaders who are gathered here to work together to help the community in the best way that they can. We are very grateful for their time and the commitment to serve those who are relying so much on them. God, we give you thanks and praise for the gifts and the unique talents that the city of West Valley has to offer. And as we continue to serve the people in the best way that we can, we pray for the families, the homes, that you'll continue to bless them, who are on the margins of society, and those who are seeking a better life and a better future. We pray for your wisdom and your guidance as your chosen leaders are here to present and also implement the different policies and laws of the land. We humbly say these things in the name of His Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Next on our agenda, we'll have the minutes of October 22nd. So a motion on the minutes for...
Move to approve the minutes of October 22nd.
Second.
Okay, any comments? I think, no, looks like they're okay. So all in favor of approving the minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. The minutes of October 22nd are approved unanimously. And now we come to the awards portion of our meeting. We'll begin first with our Employee of the Month award. Tyson Emmett, Councilmember Don Christensen will be presenting that and reading the information.
Tyson, would you please stand so we all know who we're blaming here? Let me read this. Doesn't say who it was submitted by, so.
Yeah, Sergeant Hunt who's attending.
Okay. She didn't put her name on it. We'll have to talk to her about that. You know? As an old school teacher, if you don't put your name on it, you don't get credit for it.
Yes, sir.
Tyson Emmett in IT. In the Intel unit of the police department, there are challenges with expanding space for evidentiary downloads. Each time Tyson is contacted, he works with various programs and their limitations to ensure that downloads that are needed can be accessed. 2 weeks ago, the Police Information and Intelligence Unit was asked to perform a forensic data extraction of a cellular phone with a time constraint. What seemed like a typical and straightforward task became a very atypical task very quickly. When the employee performing the task encountered 2 network drives and a C drive that were completely full, as well as issues with software required to perform the extraction. Attempt after attempt to perform the data extraction on this device failed. The issue wasn't as simple as just have IT add more space to the network. Tyson not only responded to this employee's calls and texts through the rest of the afternoon, he made himself available throughout the evening, night, and well into the early morning hours by phone. Tyson even assisted while running errands with family by remoting in to the problem computer and analyzing the issues. When he hadn't heard from the employee in a while, Tyson would be sure to check in and offer assistance and help until the download was complete. Tyson made himself available to debrief the sergeant and IIU on what happened, problems encountered, lessons learned, and suggested immediate hardware needs to prevent this from happening in the future. He came in the next Monday to speak with the department regarding the space issues and talked about ways to proceed. Ultimately, Tyson was able to clear the way so this employee could do their job. Each time there was a hiccup, Tyson jumped in immediately and analyzed the issue. Throughout the entire night, a voicemail never had to be left, and the employee never had to wait for a callback, which was crucial during this task. Any department in the city would agree and say that Tyson consistently exemplifies total customer service and goes above and beyond to make sure every employee is able to get their jobs done, day or night. Congratulations, Tyson. Now you have the hard part. This you can put wherever you want.
Usually there's a picture taken. So don't step away from the text. Okay, and then if you want you to hold your sign up too. If you come right here in the middle.
You guys have the system down? Okay, thank you.
In front of the five.
There we go. All right, 1, 2, 3. Take a couple. You guys look great. Okay.
Don't get mine.
Tyson, do you have any guests or family members with you?
I brought 2, my wife, Jalen, and my firstborn son, Tragan. That sounds weird, my son, Tragan.
Thank you and congratulations again. I think anybody who's opened their phone and went to take a picture and it says data full knows what you had to go through.
All right. Appreciate that. Next, we have a presentation on the comprehensive annual financial report and the popular annual financial reports. Mr. Jim Clayton is here, sitting in the back. We'll invite him forward to our microphone for the presentation.
Thank you. It's a privilege for me to be here tonight representing the Utah Government Finance Officers Association to present these 2 awards to West Valley City. The awards come from the National Government Finance Officers Association. As mentioned before, they were awarded for the Comprehensive Annual Financial Report, or CAFR, the popular Annual Financial Report, or PAFR. We accountants just love all these acronyms. This is the 27th year that West Valley has received the award for their CAFR. That's pretty good for a city that's only 39 years old. This is the first time that you've received the award for the PAFR. We'd especially like to recognize the efforts of Nicholas Hales and Don Grew for the CAFR, and Nicholas Hales and Craig Thomas for the PAFR. These awards are awarded by the GFOA in the area of government and financial reporting, and their attainment represents a great accomplishment by the government and its management. The program was implemented in 1945 to encourage and assist state and local governments to go beyond the minimum requirements of generally accepted accounting principles and to prepare financial statements in the spirit of full transparency and full disclosure. This is a major undertaking, as those who have been involved in it can attest. It actually began over a year ago in January with the preparation of the budget, and then throughout the year recording transactions and keeping track of every dollar. Then enduring the annual beating of the audit by external auditors, and then the preparation of the CAFR and the PAFR. So with a great deal of pleasure, I would like to award these two awards to West Valley City. And if I could have Don and Nicholas come forward. I understand Craig is not here tonight.
Mr. Clayton, you also serve as the president of the COFA, and for those who are not governmental accountants, that stands for?
Utah Government Finance Officers Association.
Okay.
Don? A little heavy to pick up. Next. And Jim?
Next, Jim.
Appreciate you coming up. Congratulations.
My bad. First time up today.
Got it.
Thank you. Great to recognize the work of one of our departments here in the city, and so we appreciate the efforts they put into that. We have our public comment period. We have two people who have signed up. Jim Visock is first. And I won't reiterate the rules since the two that signed up have done it many times before.
I'm not sure where the speaker is on this, but I'll play you a few recordings.
I think I've got enough. So let me just say this property is horrific. I find that if there's a definition of slumlord, basic development is it.
Okay, the next one.
They don't know. They don't know that my attitude is there's no way in hell I'm giving you a break on the cost of abatement. They don't know. And that's my call. my internal contest, if you will, is the worst property of the day. And I had one this morning, and between that one and yours, I'm not sure who to award that to. It's not an award you want to win. But you know what, I mean, you know, clearly the property is horrific. You know, it's terrible. And how it has got to that point, you know, it's not on either of us, you know, and obviously you're just being brought into this.
And then,
All right. Here's my final order of disposition. I would tell you that I have folks in here, I had 5 folks in here this morning, different households from single-family homes scattered throughout the city who have managed to come into compliance. These are folks that hold down a full-time job and managed to bring their property into compliance in 1/4 of the time. So it's to an extent, it is shocking to me that it's taken a corporation whose business is that property 67 days to bring the property into compliance.
okay, the first 3 are pretty self-explanatory. The last one, the only part of it, of that statement that was true is that there was 5 cases from different folks, single-family homes. The false, misleading, or outright lie statement was they were not scattered throughout the city. 4 of them were in one beat, 1 was in another beat. A quarter of the time, he said it was done, that would be 16 3/4 days, or 17. The 5 cases were 55, 43, 49, 46, and 46, which is a 49.8 or 50-day average. In my review over the last 4 months, there's been 75, 76, 68, 88, 71, 70, 75, and I've only found 2 in the last 4 months that were less than 16 days. It's not uncommon. Only 1 out of the 5 were in compliance, that actually came into compliance, not all 5. Out of the other 4, 2 were given extra time or an abatement was ordered. 2 were no-shows and abatements were automatically ordered. These are not uncommon. I could have probably filled up the whole 30-minute time frame on these. The citizens of West Valley deserve better. But that's all I'm going to say.
Thank you. Next, we have Mike Markham.
Okay, Mike Markham. I would like to have Lane pick up the code enforcement issues. I'm a large supporter of our plan to clean up the city. I think it needs to be done. I think we need to get some information out to our citizens so they know what the rules and regulations are, though. For example, my big pickup day was yesterday. You can drive through my neighborhood and probably find a dozen houses that have already started moving their stuff out to the curb for next week. I've talked to Ray Hinkle, and he's talked to a majority of these people, and I guess they believe they're above the rules and the regulations because they continue to do it. People don't listen unless you hit them in the pocketbook. You know, I don't know what else to say that we need to stay on top of this.
It's no big deal that you don't know.
We have a developer or a potential developer out there. They also need to maintain their properties and keep it within compliance. There was some discussion about the 4100 South Redwood Road property. Those people could get in there and spend some time and knock down all of the weeds that's where it used to be grass. There's a place there where there's been a homeless person sleeping. The sleeping bags and so forth have been laid out for 3 weeks, I guess. I hope the person still isn't in the sleeping bag laying there, because a lot of people aren't paying attention to that. But we've got the Calhoun property. I haven't been past that lately. Last time I went past it, there had been no maintenance there. And behind the building is becoming a landfill for this construction debris. The property where the old Don Antonio's used to be, it needs some attention on 3500 South. I don't know if the same people own all these properties. I think that the properties on 35th are owned by the same people. I still have an issue with the property at 3001 West, 4100 South, with getting it cleaned up, and maybe I need to talk to Lane or somebody to see where we are with that property. It continues to look bad. And another issue that I talked with Councilman Bueller about a couple of times, and we finally got an attempt at it, was mowing the weeds up between the Jordan River, 3900 South, where it goes past the trailer park there. I don't know who's responsible for that property where all the Russian olive trees are, but whoever the West Valley City employee was that attempted to mow that property, if I was Russ, I would terminate him. I don't know if it is, maybe it's property by Parks and Recreation, I don't know. But I've never seen such a shoddy piece of workmanship when it comes to a person sitting on a lawnmower. You know, we bought the cute little lawnmower with the arm that reaches out. Mr. Bueller asked them if they were buying it to use it or because it was just available for that piece of equipment. Apparently, they just bought it because they could, because that would have been an ideal piece of equipment to use right there. You can see where they mowed around a semi-tire, some other debris that was left there. Maybe before we go out and try to do these cleanups, we can get somebody to go and see what's in the big tall bushes before we mow, you know. May take out the sleeping homeless person that's laying there if you don't get out and walk it and clean up ahead. It's just like Granite School District one day. I was sitting at my house and I heard the person back there mowing and run over a couple of garbage bags with his tractor. Wouldn't get off it, wouldn't mow it, just decided to turn those bags into a whole bunch of little ones. I called the school and told them that employee, if he was mine, would also be terminated. I don't put up with shoddy workmanship, and I don't do shoddy workmanship. If you're not going to do it right, don't do it at all. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else here to speak tonight? Seeing no one else, we'll close our public comment period. Oh, okay. He timed it just right. He's practiced it there. Okay, to our city manager for any comments?
No, sir, thank you.
To our council members, any comments? Okay. Let's see. We talked about the policy related to the first gentleman that spoke, and we've covered that. On the second gentleman's comments, those were specific cases that we would encourage him to work individually on those particular items with our staff. With that then, seeing no further comments, we'll go to our public hearing, application GPZ-5-2019, filed by Ruben Salazar. This is requesting a general plan change from rural residential, 1 to 2 units per acre, to large lot residential, 2 to 3 units an acre, and a zone change from agricultural to R17 for property located at 2545 South Lester Street, which is just east of Redwood Road, there at 2545 South. We will also deal with ordinance 19-43, amending the general plan from rural residential to large lot residential. Ordinance 19-44, a zone change from agricultural to R17. And then a resolution 19-142, authorizing the city to enter into a development agreement for the approximately 0.89 acres of property there on Leicester Street. That is the issue before us. It is simply going to split that into two pieces of property. And around that, this particular property is the largest and widest on the block. Everything around it, I believe, is zoned R16. And so, two lots, one about 15,000 square feet, and one where the existing home is 24,000 square feet. Let's see, anything else here? Don't believe so. And if are there any comments the council wants to add to that before we go to public comment? Okay, seeing none, then we'll open the public comment or input portion of this. Is there anyone here to speak to this issue? It's open to everyone.
Mike Markham. The only thing I don't like to see on here is we're taking agriculture and we're going to turn it into lots of smaller houses and lots of lots. I don't like to see that. But I think from the address you gave that it is in the Chesterfield area. Hopefully if the development that wants to happen there, they're going to be required without extensions, I don't remember the proper term, to put in the sidewalks and the curb and gutter, which there's been some development in there where we say, oh, well, you don't really have to do it right now because it would only be, you would have the only curb and gutter in the neighborhood. So we keep giving extensions and extensions and extension for these people that don't do that. I think we need to stop the extensions and gradually it'll start filling in. We got to keep working on different areas, making them nice. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. And that brings up an important point, as you remember in our discussion we had, that if this is approved, that there would be no further subdividing allowed. It would just be the two lots, not breaking it down smaller. That's an interesting comment. By the way, was there anyone else to speak to that before I continue on? Okay, please come forward.
Sorry, my legs are locked up. I'm Ruben Salazar, and this is my property. With what this gentleman had to say, when I bought this place, it was Salt Lake County, or Salt Lake County still, and West Valley Incorporated. Being from this old, I wasn't from there, but I bought this property, and I gotta say, I was real proud of West Valley for cleaning the area up. It really did make a difference. And but when I bought it, they told me I was zoned for duplexes. Not only was it agriculture and horse property, but it was zoned for duplexes, which sounded fine. But now that I don't have horses anymore, I thought that particular part of the street has multiple little lots, and some of them are just barely big enough to put a car in, and that's about all. And the houses are very tiny and very shabby. I plan on building a new home there. West Valley's been very good. What this gentleman brought up about keeping things clean, West Valley told me they were going to put curb and gutter all the way down. Now Lester Street is a main street for the kids to go to school that they walk down. And the only curb and gutter seems to go up to where the tracks are now. And then the Tongan church that's there, they got it. But north of that is no curb and gutter. So building mine, I might put that in with that property if it need be. But I always wondered why they never did it. So that's kind of a big question mark about mine. And the other thing is the Brighton Canal that they ended up putting behind us. The water master was supposed to come and keep it clean, and it doesn't look like they ever cleaned it up at all. So those were my only comments, so thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else to speak to this? Okay, we'll close the public comment portion and bring it back to the council. Any comments? Seeing no comments? Any motions?
I think it's important, as you noted, Mayor, that all of this is, the application is zoned at R17, which would be small lots. That's a frontage issue. It's really going to be two large lots and then limited to 2 large lots. With that, I'll move for approval of ordinance 1943.
Second.
Ordinance 1943, it's properly before us. Any further comments? None, I'll write to our city recorder for the vote.
Councilmember Fitzie Umanu.
Aye.
Councilwoman Link.
Yes.
Councilman Bueller.
Aye.
Councilman Christensen.
Yes.
Councilman Norfelt.
Yes.
And Mayor Bigelow.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Move for approval of ordinance 19-44.
Second?
Any comments here? This one is the changing from agricultural to R17. Seeing no further comments, to our city recorder for the vote.
Councilman Norfelt.
Yes.
Councilman Christensen.
Yes.
Councilman Bueller.
Aye.
Councilwoman Link.
Yes.
Councilman Fitzie Umanu.
Aye.
And Mayor Bigelow.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Next,
I would move for approval of resolution 19-142.
second. I think I heard a second there, but someone coughed at the same time.
Second.
Okay. Sorry, background noise. In connection with this is where there was the change in the development agreement, Exhibit B, for the fact that as a restriction on the development, it would not be further subdivided. It would be a maximum of 2 lots for what is the current property. It would be 2 and not anything else. With that then, seeing no further comments, to our city recorder.
Councilman Fitzie Umanu.
Aye.
Councilwoman Link.
Yes.
Councilman Bueller.
Aye.
Councilman Christensen.
Yes.
Councilman Norfelt.
Yes.
And Mayor Bigelow.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Next, we go to application ZT-5-2019, filed by West Valley City. This is a zone text change to our code regarding cannabis production establishments and medical cannabis pharmacies. In conjunction with this, we will consider ordinance 19-45. As is known publicly, the state has taken some action with regards to the production and raising of cannabis, or its more common name, marijuana, in various strains. And this proposal, recently the state held a special session, made some changes. This will bring us into compliance with state law, which is interesting because federal law, of course, it's contrary to federal law. But we are kind of in a unique position where the federal government has laws, but they are not enforcing them. And they are obviously in states that have already taken steps where it is sold freely and openly for various reasons. And so this will bring us into compliance with what is in current state code, just to prevent any problems there. So that's really the introduction to it. So unless the council wants to add any further comments. If not, then we'll open the public input portion. Is there anyone here to speak to this? I think they got a lot more comments at the state level, but at this point, this is kind of a routine technical change. So seeing no comments from the public, we will close the public comment portion and bring it back to the council for further comments or motions.
I move for approval of ordinance 19-45.
Property before us, any further comments? Seeing none, to our city recorder.
Councilman Fitzie Umanu.
Aye.
Councilwoman Lang.
Yes.
Councilman Bueller.
Aye.
Councilman Christensen.
Yes.
Councilman Nordfeld.
Yes.
And Mayor Bigelow.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, then we now go to some resolutions. We'll start with Resolution 19-137. This is to execute an agreement between our city and a company, Keddington and Christensen, Certified Public Accountants. They provide auditing services to our city, and this will be for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2020. Yeah, because that was just a typo there.
Are we auditing
Yeah, we'd be auditing last year's fiscal year though.
the one that ended in
No,
June?
this agreement is for the coming year, right? Or is it for the current year?
Correct, that is for this one that just ended, Mayor.
Okay.
Yeah, we actually,
We wouldn't audit.
I'm glad we have the
2020
chair of that committee here to keep us on the straight and narrow. Okay. For the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2019. That is the correction. That is the correct period of time. They will be performing that work, and obviously until the year is completed, they cannot begin it. With that introduction, let's see, oh, and by the way, the amount of that agreement is $76,384, which is pretty consistent with what we've done in previous years. Standard audit, required by state law, and so that's the introduction to the council.
I would move for approval of resolution 19-137.
Second.
Any further comments? Seeing none, to our city recorder.
Councilman Nordfeld.
Yes.
Councilman Christensen.
Yes.
Councilman Bueller.
Aye.
Councilwoman Lang.
Yes.
Councilman Fitzie Umanu.
Aye.
And Mayor Bigelow.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay. Next, we go to Resolution 19-138. This is a change order to the contract we have already have with Acme Construction on the 2700 West Improvements Project. And this particular change order is for $111,607. This is for a traffic signal at 3800 South and 2700 West. These funds will come from our Class C road funds and transportation sales tax. What was happened was, it was thought that they could upgrade certain parts of that, but with further analysis, they decided that the age and condition of the existing equipment, that it would be more beneficial to replace the entire traffic signal. And so that was the purpose of this particular resolution. So to the council.
Move for approval of resolution 19-138.
Second.
Properly before us, any further comments? Seeing none, to our city recorder.
Councilman Nordfeld,
Yes.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Bueller,
Aye.
Councilwoman Lang,
Yes.
Councilman Fitzie Umanu,
Aye.
and Mayor Bigelow.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Now, related to that, Resolution 19-139 is to approve the purchase of traffic signal equipment from UDOT for that particular installation. Let's see, the traffic signal equipment will be $90,000 is the authorized amount. It will cost just slightly less than that, but just to make sure we have any issues related, we will approve. If it's approved, it will be for $90,000. What happens is this could be purchased out on the open market, but UDOT has a lot of equipment. We're able to get a great price because they buy in large bulk, and so we will be making this purchase from them. With that introduction to the council.
Since we've already contracted for the installation, we better buy the signal. So I'll move for approval of Resolution 19-139.
Second.
Properly before us, any further comments? Seeing none, for the record.
Councilman Fitzie Umanu,
Aye.
Councilwoman Lang,
Yes.
Councilman Bueller,
Aye.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Nordfeld,
Yes.
and Mayor Bigelow.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Next, we have Resolution 19-140. This is again on the 2700 West Improvement Project. This is to approve the purchase of street lights from Mountain States Lighting in the amount of just under $34,938. It will come from Salt Lake County Transportation Funds, Class C road funds, and transportation sales tax. These will be 18 acorn-style light poles, which is the style that we are putting across most parts of the city when we need to put them in. So, with that,
Since we've approved the new traffic signal, I guess we should matching streetlights. I move to approve Resolution 19-140.
Second.
property before us. The one thing is, it's not exactly the same. They are both, I think, black, that black paint. But our street lights will not be red and green and yellow, so.
There's no acorn.
I don't know, maybe the city will pay up some money for some Christmas lights and we'll string them from one pole to the next or something, I don't know. Maybe. Maybe not. Yeah, probably not this year. With that then, seeing no further comments, to our city recorder.
Councilman Nordfeld,
Yes.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Bueller,
Aye.
Councilwoman Lang,
Yes.
Councilman Fitzie Umanu,
Aye.
and Mayor Bigelow.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Finally, we have Resolution 19-141. This is for us to enter into another one of these right-of-way contracts and an underground right-of-way easement. This one from Ann Brown for property at 5990 West 3500 South. This is in conjunction with the work being done on 3500 South with the improvements, the Mountain View corridor going in there. And so taking advantage of the opportunity there, we will bury power lines and do some work along there, and this will allow us to do that. We have done a number of these before. This one is not the last one. We'll have, I think, didn't we have 4? Instead of we'll do next week, so with that then, and this one the right-of-way that we obtain will actually cost us $15,500. And so, now is is just that for the right-of-way, or does that include that portion of the burying it? I think it's just the right-of-way, right?
It's just, yeah. So,
Yeah, because we are actually taking some of their property.
We can't build anything for $15,500.
I don't know. Well, maybe it's only a small portion, it was a narrow lot, like in Chesterfield. Anyway, that is the issue before us to the council.
Move for approval of resolution 19-141.
Second.
Properly before us, any further comments? See none, to our city recorder.
Councilman Fitzie Umanu.
Aye.
Councilwoman Lang.
Yes.
Councilman Bueller.
Aye.
Councilman Christensen.
Yes.
Councilman Nordfeld.
Yes.
And Mayor Bigelow.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. There's no need for a closed session tonight. That completes our regular agenda. Unless there are any final comments, we appreciate those who have come tonight and the comments that were made from the public. Oh, that's right. But it's not my meeting, so it's almost out of my mind. Of course, I'm almost out of my mind most of the time. With that then, we'll adjourn this meeting and we will start our second meeting, which will not be a long meeting, but necessary. So,
Move to adjourn.
properly before us, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Passed unanimously. Our regular city council meeting is adjourned.
Thank you. I call to order the special meeting of the Housing Authority. Note that we've had an opening ceremony and Mr. Hume is excused. We have the June 4th minutes before us. Do we have any discussion or approval?
I move for approval of the June 4th minutes.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. We have a resolution to authorize a contract for a new software system for the Housing Authority, replacing our old system, and the cost of that was somewhere on here, $36,502. And then we'll have a contract for the second and third year for $16,502 each. And do we have any discussion or motion on that?
Just a comment, the 16,000 plus for the second and third years, is that just for 2 years or is that an
So it'll
ongoing?
make it it's just a 3-year contract as I understand it.
It'll be in perpetuity. This is just for the next 3 years.
And as I understand it also, this is bringing us closer to HUD requirements and everything for the Housing Authority so that we can cooperate better with them.
That works.
And with that, I'll move for approval of, I don't see a resolution number on this page.
1903.
Resolution 1903.
Second.
Thank you. Now turn it over to Ms. Kamick for a roll call.
Mr. Fitzie Umanu.
Aye.
Mr. Bueller.
Aye.
Mr. Bigelow.
Aye.
Mr. Christensen.
Yes.
Mr. Nordfeld.
Yes.
And Chairperson Lang.
Yes,
Motion passes unanimously.
thank you. A motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
And we are adjourned.
One thing, I'll get that question.
Up by the new townhouse in the